Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackGear.com. I am here with our STG MotoAmerica Junior Cup update number 3. Okay, so it is Wednesday. I don't know, it's probably about 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Max and I are taking off this Saturday for the COTA tire test. And let me show you the current state of affairs because, well, it ain't pretty. Here is the bike, right? What have I gotten done on the bike so far and what do I have left to do? I've managed to get it cleaned up really good. Fantastic, right? How hard is that? I have repacked the steering head bearings. Got that done. I've removed the swing arm, lubricated the bearings on the swing arm, reinstalled that, cleaned everything up, great. We sent out the suspension to my man Lenny Albin at K-Tech, right? He rebuilt the forks and the shock for us. Those are over here in my pile of parts. We're leaving Saturday morning. It's a little chaotic right now. Been really busy, thanks to all your support. We are just daily records, weekly records. This could be the best month we've ever had in the history of our little company, and we appreciate you. That's what allows us to do this. But it's putting the old man just a little bit behind the 8 ball, right? Today, I'm gonna get the suspension on the bike so I can get it back together, roll the chassis around, right? From there, we need to change the oil. I'm gonna drain and refill the radiator, new distilled water in there. In MotoAmerica, you're not allowed to use any type of coolant whatsoever. It has to be just water, so we're running distilled water to avoid any corrosion or deposits, or at least avoid as much as humanly possible. I've already bled the rear brakes. Rear brakes are fully serviced. I've got new SBS pads that we're gonna try this year. We're gonna put those in the front. And what I did do with this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm taking off of my brand new spare parts bike that's never been ridden. I have a motor out at Hanshaw Racing Engines right now. Jamie's gonna get that done. He's got a couple of Norton parts that he's putting in there too, some shift parts, undercut the trans, little Norton seal, right? So that little oval shaped seal, we'll talk more about that in a subsequent video. Gonna be putting that in there. That's gonna be a motor we'll install somewhere after the first couple of rounds. The one that we put in for last year should still be strong. Jamie gave me a recommendation on how many rounds to run it, so we're probably gonna stick with that, right? So I've got the motor there. So what I did with this bike is for right now, just using this one as parts. The other one we have is a 2018. I'm gonna take the front brake off of this now. That caliper is brand new, right? We're gonna use that caliper and even that master cylinder. I'll set the other system up. We'll use that on what will ultimately end up being Max's practice bike. I've got some new brake lines over here from Stiegler, one to have a spare, one to use to build that. Got a spare fuel pump, got another spare caliper. This would now be my 3rd set of wheels, spare master cylinder, spare radiator, some front brake caliper pins. Those caliper pins, if you're changing your pads a lot, those things, they just do not stand the test of time. So I got a new set of those. Those will end up being run as spares. We've got some more stuff here with the new caliper. Got 3 driven lever guards. I've got some Graves captive wheel spacers. They got a nice contour on it. It's just gonna make it easier to change the tires. Bottom line is I got a lot of stuff to do and I have a very narrow window of time to do it in. We're not gonna show you all that stuff in this video. I just wanted to give you guys an update, and we'll probably shoot one more once I have the bike race ready and we're getting the trailer all loaded for COTA. We'll probably do one more quick little update and then off to the tire test we go. Okay, so we got the bike all wrapped up. We've got the trailer mostly loaded. Here comes the kid down the stairs with a couple of chairs. Yep. Gonna throw those in the trailer so we got something to sit on while we're down there at COTA. So the bike, is anything really different from last year? You know, realistically, the brake pads, we're trying a new pad. We're trying the SBS line. We have the dual carbons in there now. We have the DS1s and DS2s. We should have opportunity down there at COTA to try all 3 to see which compound the kid likes the best. Beyond that, we got a couple of Norton parts on the bike. Remember, we did the lightweight rear rotor. Got the soft pull throttle spring in there. That was nice. I gave the kids some new grips. We're using the same bodywork that he had a little tip over on at Indy. It's got a little duct tape on there, a little extra character. Should be ready for the tire test. Something I do want to point out that we did to this bike too, and this is something I did at Laguna, and we haven't really talked about this yet, is he's using a lot of lean angle on this bike, okay? And Max's riding style, he doesn't hang off super far. He's not a way elbows out kind of rider. He keeps his body pretty central on the bike. So for that reason, you know, he's going to try and hang off a little bit farther. There's pros and cons to that. He's a bigger kid. When you're more central on the bike, you got a lot of load on the rear tire. It's going to help with rear grip. That's a good thing, right? The negative is you're going to, you know, in certain situations, use a little bit more lean angle. This is something we've talked to our friend Chris Ulrich about quite a bit. You know, and he'll probably have some more conversations with Max while we're down at Coda and try and get him to just that right spot. But what I did to help get him more ground clearance is I noticed at Laguna, he was coming in, and he was dragging the edges of the foot pegs, right? And that's no good. You start dragging the edge of the foot peg, the next thing is you're eating shit and dad's fixing the bike. So I took a hacksaw and I shortened up these pegs. I forget the exact measurement, but it was a fair amount. And I also shortened up his toe piece. And when I shortened up the toe piece, what I had to do is I had to drill through the rubber and drill through the toe piece, and then I put a little safety wire on there to secure the rubber on the toe piece. But at Laguna, and here he is right here, that got you, right, it stopped the dragging,
it stopped
right?
The dragging, that's for sure.
You still touch down just a tiny little bit over here on the shifter, and if you want to come over here, Caleb, you can kind of get that. Like, that's how low, right, these kids are cornering. Right, he's taken off the number plates, the one's half gone on the other side already, you know, and dragging this. So that's something I did with the Vortex rear sets to help work with his riding style too, and get him a little bit more ground clearance. I think it made a pretty significant difference.
And Laguna is such a crazy track to where there's like 3 to 4 corners on the track where you are, you know, dragging the foot pegs and such. I mean, for me at least, like I think turn 6 at Laguna, it's like a downhill, so you're going uphill, and then it's like a huge divot, and then you go straight back uphill. I would downshift when I entered, going into that left-hander, and then as soon as I'd touch my knee on the ground a little bit, I'd get on the gas, and then I'd upshift, and when I'd be leaned over in my full tuck on the gas, when I'd upshift, it would just scrape, and you know, just got used to it every lap. It would just scrape a little bit, and just consistently.
Scraping. Yeah, but we, you know, tried to get you a little more ground clearance because the last thing you want to do is end up having to crash just because you're dragging your foot peg. Yeah. Right? I'm excited.
I'm excited.
You ready to ride?
Yeah.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
Do you remember how to do it?
I don't know.
How have you been training?
I've been shipping packages for you guys.
You've been shipping a lot of packages. You've been working your butt off back there. I think your cardio is pretty strong right now. And then we snowmobiled all winter.
Yeah, so.
Entry, apex, exits, all the same shit, kid.
Yeah.
All the same shit. So there you have it. There is our episode 3 wrap up. It's been a long couple of days. Been really busy here at the shop, and getting the bike together was smooth. Getting the trailer loaded today was pretty darn smooth. We're gonna end this one now and say thanks again for all the support that allows us to do this. I am so proud to be a part of this MotoAmerica series and have our family business name.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's
on the class,
sure. Yeah.
That you're racing in, you know, no pressure. You got a giant target on your back, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Till next time.